Hey Alexus Love Beauties and Flawless Man, welcome back to another YouTube video. So today we are going to be talking about 5 things that I learned from a man, and this is just going to be part 1. Y'all, we are in a different location because we are at the room, honey. Be sure to check out that video that we did about our room tour, but let's get into the tea. 5 things that I learned from a man. The number 1 thing, I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. This one threw me because it's like, okay, look, it's like this. Let me tell you. When you are like a health conscious person, you try to be healthy, you try to exercise, you try to take care of your skin and your mental and stuff. And when you're like a health conscious person and somebody tell you something that you've been doing wrong, you just be like, oh my God. So I was super kind of embarrassed. I ain't gonna lie, but I appreciate the young man that I was talking to at the time because he didn't bash me about it. It was just like something that it was a learning experience, right? So he told me to not cross-contaminate when I am cleansing myself. So I was going over his house and he had like a multitude of towels in the closet. But me, I would just get like one towel and I would use that towel on everything, my face, my body, my feet. And you do not want to do that. So when he seen me doing that, he was like, Alexis, there's multiple towels in there. Like, why are you not using other towels? Like, why are you just using one towel? And I'm like, what's the big deal? And he was like, you don't want to cross-contaminate like that because it's not a cleanly thing to do. So that very day, I went and got one towel for my face, one towel for my body, one towel for the front, one towel for the back, and one towel for the feet. To this day, I use about 5 or 6 towels. That is no lie. And I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. And that is how I'm going to teach others because it does make a lot of sense. You do not want to cross-contaminate. Your body have different pHs. They are, different parts of the body is just in different parts of the body. The head is up here, the body is down here, and the feet is down there walking around on everything. So you do not want to take that towel and wipe your face and then wipe down here in your private areas and then wipe your feet and then go and recycle that the next day. So that is the number 1 powerful thing that I learned from a man. Do not cross-contaminate when you are cleansing yourself. Get a separate towel for every part of your body. This goes for men and women. Another thing, you might have like a breakout somewhere, maybe like an armpit or something. You may also have like fungus in between the feet. So you do not want to spread different things like that. You don't want to throw off your pH in general. So I really, really love the fact that he told me that, and I just stick with that to this day. Get you a different towel for every part of your body if you can, and then with that I would say get you a white towel, just simply because white is more like pure and cleansing. And sometimes like a lot of the times colored clothes and stuff like bleach off on your skin and dye off on your skin, and you don't want to like do that for real. So I say get you 5 or 6 white towels, use them from different parts of your body. Don't cross-contaminate. That's the number 1 thing that I learned from a man, and I still love that wisdom today. Going into number 2, don't talk about the past. I feel like men be trying to like humble you sometimes when you bring up the past or whatever. Like women, we just be so comfortable and confident to be like, oh my God, like the last dude, he had did this or whatever. Dudes don't even be asking. And we just be like, yeah, like the last dude, you feel me? Like he was cheating on me. He was doing all this. I beat the devil in the name of Jesus. But the last dude, he just wasn't there. And you telling a new dude this, and it be like a dude to be like, okay, so the last dude wasn't there. So at first he'll start, everything will be good in the beginning, but then he'll just start throwing you off, like, and you looking like, dang, like, why he acting like the last dude? Because you told him. A lot of the times we be prepping people on how to handle us. We don't need to do that. People should already know how to handle us. We don't need to talk about the past. It is a time and a place for everything, and there's a time and a place for every conversation. And in the beginning we just be so quick to be like, oh, the last did it, because we're expecting you to not do that. But a lot of the times I've seen men do the same thing you tell them. So the number 2 thing, the second thing I learned from a man is just don't tell him your past, because some men, and they'll sit there and they'll act like, dang, she a strong independent black woman, she intelligent, she wise, da da da, and that's not how it be at the end. It just depends on the man. Now, when you get, the right man, the past is not going to bother him. Your past is not going to hunt him. He's actually going to appreciate that you're sitting in front of him because, hey, she made it. Like you said, you had to, well, I love you type stuff. So, but a lot of men are not like that, or some men are not like that. I don't want to overgeneralize everybody, but I've seen some men that were not like that, and they was like, oh, dang, you had said he did what now? Oh, okay. And then they did the same thing. So something that I would say is to not tell a man the past. And when it comes that time, y'all have that conversation, then okay. But if for some reason, I just feel like men can't really handle a woman's past like that. But we be able to handle theirs, but they can't handle ours. Like, sorry, that's over with. That's over with. Let's go into number 3. I'm not gonna lie, if y'all hear something in the back, my alarm clock going off, and typically I don't even be playing like that. I be putting everything on do not disturb because we be handling business. But I'm not finna get up and go over there and turn the phone off, and it just kind of threw me off because I'm like, before I started this video, it was only 6:45, and I could have sworn my next alarm was going off at 7:15. I know it's not 7:15. Time is flying. But if y'all hear something, that's that phone. It's gonna go off for a minute. Let's get into number 3. Number 3, what I learned from a man, he mean what he said. He said what he meant the first time. If a man tell you, I mean, typically y'all don't do this, but now I'm not trying to be rude, whatever a man saying, he meant it. He meant what he said. If he said, man, typically I don't do this, but I don't really play about my time and my money, and you realize that this man is selfish. He don't be spending no money and he don't be giving me no time. He said what he said in the beginning. We have to pick up what they be saying. See, a lot of the times we can get men's actions out of their words if it's not coming out behavior, which your movement should align with what you're saying. But when that's not happening, if we listen to what the man is saying, that he's really telling us up front, like, what this is going to be. You're not going to get no money from me. You're not going to get no time from me because I don't really play about that like that. So whatever he said, he meant it the first time. If he like, man, I don't really want to be in a relationship, he don't want to be in a relationship. So if you want to mess with him, you're going to be messing with him on whatever level. On whatever level that is. You're not going to force that man. You're not going to change that man and say, oh my God, like I'm the better woman. All of that is a delusion. We have to stay in our energy and say, he said he don't want no girl, so I'm just his friend. He said what he said. He said what he meant, and he ain't going to say it again. The number 4th, look, I'm talking about the number 4th. I'm trying to get like how I want to say this. The 4th thing that I learned from a man, if he wanted to, he would. And I am super excited that is going around the internet because it's true. And at first it was a hard reality because I'm like, well, what if he didn't have it? Like, what if he didn't want to? Do not make excuses for a man, because if he wanted to, he would. Even if he was struggling, even if he had debt, even if he didn't have it like that, even if he had 50 cents to his name, if he wanted to give you a quarter, he would have gave you a quarter. If he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to make you his wife, you would have been his wife 30 years ago. Like, it just don't make no sense on the time that people be taking to do stuff. So, especially a man, they already be knowing. Men be knowing off back like, she the one. We have to be picked. We have to be chosen. We can't go out there, y'all be seeing it, but don't do that. Do not do that. Like, will you marry me? You're a whole woman. You're not supposed to be down there. That is not how that's supposed to go. If he wanted to marry you, then he would. And it's not going to take him 1,000 decades. That goes for anything in general. If he wanted to text you, then he would. That man got his phone. If he wanted to call you, then he would. So that is the 4th thing that I learned from a man. And I'm starting to settle on that because it's okay. If he wanted to, he would. But you can't force him to do that. A lot of the times when we feel like, well, I just feel like, you feel me, like if I kind of like tweak this a little bit, then he go, no. If he wanted to, you wouldn't have to tell him nothing. If he wanted to take out the trash, he would have took it out. Like, we see what's going on in the house. If he wanted to, he would. And the 5th thing that I learned from a man, if you have to defend any type of situation, if you have to defend yourself, if you have to defend the relationship, the friendship, if you have to defend yourself against the family, other type of females, it's just the dub. It's just the dub. As a man, as a leader, a protector, a provider, as a wise and upright man, reading your word of God, you know that a woman not even supposed to be talking so much. So you're going to know that, hey, I am her mouthpiece. Women talking are going to send a lot of trouble because we talk too much. That's what I'm saying. We sitting here telling you the past, and you ain't even strong enough to handle your own past. So that's why when I tell you mine, you like, oh my God, like that was bold. And you go and do the same thing. That's trauma bonding. We're not doing that. We should not be defending and addressing no situations. That is what I learned from men. And I learned that if he have you and he don't say nothing, and he don't step in and say, hey, you know what, then he don't like you for real. He don't like you, and he treating you just like the other females. A real, genuine, honest man of God.